going on, guys? It's Jenness. And did you know that the state of New Hampshire has the shortest coastline of any state in the United States? At just 18 miles or 29 kilometers in length, New Hampshire by far has the shortest coastline of any state in the country. But nonetheless, it's still a beautiful seacoast with a lot to see. And in today's video, I'm actually going to be crossing the entire coastline of New Hampshire from end to end, which will also effectively mean I'm crossing the entire state of New Hampshire. But we're going to be walking across New Hampshire's whole coastline, 18 miles or 29 kilometers in length. Why don't I give you guys a little bit more of the details and then we'll get started.
As stated previously, New Hampshire has the shortest coastline of any state in the United States. However, the exact length can vary between estimations and calculations. For the most part, it's agreed upon that New Hampshire's coastline stretches somewhere between 13 miles, or 21 kilometers, and 18 miles, or 29 kilometers, in total length. For the purposes of this video, we will be viewing it from the much longer 18-mile-long perspective, which will roughly account for the mileage I will be walking today. This coastal region of New Hampshire is referred to as the Seacoast Region, primarily centered around the eastern part of Rockingham County, but also including some of southeastern Strafford County. Although many towns and cities make up the Seacoast Region, there are only 6 municipalities that directly border the Atlantic Ocean, and those are, from south to north, Seabrook, Hampton, North Hampton, Rye, Newcastle, and Portsmouth. On this walking journey across the entire coast, we will be making our way through 5 of these 6 towns. The only town we will not be entering is Newcastle, only because it is too isolated from our route and out of the way. Starting at the state border with Massachusetts in the south, we will work our way north along New Hampshire Route 1A, which is a state highway that runs along New Hampshire's entire mainland coastline. We will then enter the city of Portsmouth, where I will cross the state border with Maine, officially ending the journey. This journey will be taken entirely on foot, walking at a normal pace, in the span of just a few hours, and projected at roughly 18 miles. If there is any challenge that will let me appreciate and enjoy New Hampshire's stunning seacoast region up close and personal, then it will definitely be this one.
So yeah, with all that out of the way, we're going to be walking across the entire coastline of New Hampshire. We're going to be starting here in the state of Massachusetts, crossing into New Hampshire, walking across the entire 18-mile length of the New Hampshire coastline, crossing the border once again, and then ending in the state of Maine. It's going to be a truly fascinating journey and likely a pretty long one, but I am going to be keeping count of my statistics the whole way. As of right now, I'm at 0 steps, 0 calories burned, and 0 miles. But by the end of the trip, I'm hoping to see all of those statistics go up, so I will let you guys know how I end off with steps walked, miles walked, and calories burned. I'm interested to see what that's like. But again, we are going to be starting here in Massachusetts, specifically in the town of Salisbury, Massachusetts. And as you can see directly behind me, we're going to be entering the town of Seabrook, New Hampshire. So why don't you guys join me? We're going to be officially leaving the state of Massachusetts, which of course is my home state, entering New Hampshire, and that's where we're going to be for most of the day today. So let's do it. Let's officially cross the state border. And we did it. We are now officially in the state of New Hampshire, beginning our journey, walking across the entire 18-mile length of New Hampshire's Seacoast Region. Let's do it.
As soon as I left Massachusetts, crossing the state border into New Hampshire, I immediately began working my way north along Route 1A, passing by a multitude of stores, restaurants, and pretty beachfront homes. This particular section of Seabrook is very residential, as you can probably tell from all of the dense housing nestled along the coast. However, aside from the commercial and residential properties, I was also able to enjoy the beautiful natural landscape, consisting of salt marshes and sand dunes. Thankfully, natural coastal beauty would become a mainstay of this journey. Anyways, I continued on, already making good timing.
All right, guys, as of right now, so far so good. We are still making our way along the New Hampshire coastline. It's about 10:50 a.m. as I film this segment. By the way, I gotta say, I started much later today than I really wanted to. I actually wanted to start much earlier in the morning, but I got a little tied up. So I am having a bit of a later start today. Again, it's about 10:50 a.m. almost 11 a.m., but nonetheless, we are still here in the town of Seabrook, New Hampshire, working our way down the coastline, making pretty good progress. I gotta say, I'm a pretty fast walker. I think I should be able to do this challenge in about 6 hours. That's my estimate. If not 6 hours, maybe 6.5 at the most. But yeah, so far so good. We're just working our way down the coastline. By the way, pretty much the entire day today, I'm going to be walking along a single street, a single road. That's actually this road, New Hampshire Route 1A. This is New Hampshire Route 1A, and it basically snakes along the entire New Hampshire coastline. So I think there might be a few exceptions, but pretty much the entire day, we're going to be walking along New Hampshire Route 1A. And it does get pretty busy, as you can see.
By now, I was walking through the northeasternmost portion of Seabrook, directly beside the harbor, looking out towards the Blackwater River. In the distance, I could see the iconic Seabrook Station nuclear power plant, the second largest nuclear power plant in New England, operating since 1990. Eventually, I left the town limits of Seabrook, entering into my next town, Hampton, as I worked my way over to Hampton Bridge. I should note that, originally, I incorrectly thought that Hampton Bridge, which crosses over the Hampton River, served as the dividing town line between Seabrook and Hampton, but that is actually not the case. Hampton Bridge is entirely within the town of Hampton itself, as the name implies. Interestingly, Hampton Bridge is a drawbridge, meaning that I had to be extra careful when crossing it, hoping that no tall boats or ships would attempt to pass through while I was walking across.
All right, guys, I am back once again, and I'm officially crossing over the Hampton Bridge. This bridge connects the towns of Seabrook, New Hampshire, where we just were back there, and Hampton, New Hampshire. And it crosses over the Hampton River, which in turn leads right into the Atlantic Ocean. And why don't I show you guys? This is the Hampton River, and right over there is the Atlantic Ocean. So we are literally right on the coast right now, crossing over this bridge, entering from our first town to our second town. This is definitely a major highlight of the journey so far, the Hampton Bridge. By the way, if you're wondering, it is extremely windy right now. That's part of why I'm using a microphone. I normally hate using microphones when I film, but it is so windy right now. It's the best I can do. But anyways, I'm enjoying the beautiful scenery. Obviously, to address the elephant in the room, they are doing major construction work over here. As you can see, looks like they're building a brand new bridge. Not sure when that's going to be built. Maybe, I don't know, 2050. But anyways, yeah, beautiful Hampton Bridge, which by the way is a drawbridge. And right here, you can actually see the drawbridge portion itself. Whenever really tall boats or ships pass through, that opens up, allows them to pass safely through.
The Hampton Bridge, a bascule bridge which first opened in 1949, crosses over the Hampton River, right near the Hampton Harbor Inlet, leading out into the Atlantic Ocean. The walk across this bridge was very scenic, and I could see way out into the endless horizon of the shimmering blue ocean. The bridge spans a total length of 1,193 feet, or 364 meters long, connecting the southernmost portion of Hampton with the popular village of Hampton Beach. Speaking of which, as I began making my way down the bridge back onto the mainland, I could see Hampton Beach in the distance, a site which is perhaps the most popular tourist attraction in the entire New Hampshire seacoast.
Well, guys, it's official. We've now entered the town of Hampton, New Hampshire, and more specifically, the village of Hampton Beach. And as you can see by the sign welcoming us to Hampton Beach, this is perhaps one of the most famous and iconic beach towns here in the New Hampshire seacoast. Now, Hampton Beach has a lot of really interesting sights to see, from arcades to seafood restaurants to, of course, Hampton Beach State Park, which is the very long sandy beach that's along it. The Hampton Beach Boardwalk is perhaps the most iconic attraction. Now, Hampton Beach definitely draws the most tourists of anywhere else on the New Hampshire seacoast. It's also a pretty polarizing location. You either love it or you hate it. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I tend to be on the more dislike section. Don't get me wrong, Hampton Beach has its charms. Also has amazing seafood, I gotta say, but it can be a little run down. It's definitely past its glory days, but nonetheless, it's still an iconic location here in New England, and we're actually going to be entering that right now. And to be honest, this probably will be one of the highlights of the walk itself. In fact, you can see by the sign right here, Hampton Beach State Park, right over there. We are officially entering Hampton Beach and Hampton Beach State Park. So enjoy the sights and sounds of Hampton Beach as I make my way through. We are going to be walking over to the actual boardwalk section as well, so there will be a little more interesting stuff to see, and who knows, maybe I might be persuaded into buying some seafood. We'll see.
I was now walking into the beach resort town of Hampton Beach, one of the busiest tourist hotspots along New Hampshire's coastline. Although it was a slightly chilly day in mid-April, and the area was quiet, this place swells with crowds of beachgoers during the sweltering summer months. The village is primarily defined by the iconic Hampton Beach Boardwalk, home to shops, restaurants, hotels, and casinos. Directly across from the bustling boardwalk is Hampton Beach itself, a long, sandy strip of coastline that attracts a plethora of visitors year-round. I couldn't help but to position myself directly alongside the beach, taking in the scenic views of the rushing waves along the coast. Despite the colder temperature, it truly was a beautiful day to be at the beach, with sunny and clear skies above the glistening ocean.
Yo, what's up guys? I'm back. I am officially here at Hampton Beach. You got Hampton Beach State Park right behind me, the beach, the ocean, and then of course right over here, the Hampton Beach Boardwalk with all the iconic spots, you know, the casino, the arcades, the seafood restaurants, the shops, all right over there. I am going to use this opportunity to take a really brief break and get some drone shots. So I'm actually going to be breaking out the drone right now, you know, hopefully getting some pretty good aerial B-roll and maybe even a YouTube thumbnail. So I'm just going to take a really quick break, probably no more than 10 minutes, and then I'll continue on. But just letting you guys know I'm trying to be forthcoming and honest. This is probably going to be the only major break I'm taking on this trip. So yeah, I'm going to get started, enjoy the scenery, and break out the drone.
After taking a much-needed seat, I immediately broke out my drone and began flying it high in the sky, excited to see Hampton Beach from above. As you can tell from this aerial drone footage, it really was a pretty day out, and the beach looked incredible as I soared above it, taking in all the scenery. Anyways, after I packed my drone and left my spot, I continued northward along the beach, truly mesmerized by the shimmering coast. If you've never been to Hampton Beach before, don't let this footage mislead you. It might look pretty quiet and calm right now, but remember, this was taken on a chilly mid-April day. This beach resort town gets swarmed with tourists from all over in the summer, eagerly searching for parking spots and running up and down the boardwalk for ice cream, lobster rolls, and cheap, tacky souvenirs. I can't lie though, as I continued walking along the boardwalk, I was constantly tempted by the signs for food everywhere. I was starting to feel pretty hungry, and it was nearly lunchtime, so every food-related advertisement felt specifically targeted towards me.
Now look guys, I don't want to come off like some asshole who just does not like Hampton Beach whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, this place has a lot of charm to it. And when I was a kid, I absolutely loved Hampton Beach. I used to come up here like every single summer when I was a kid. Hampton Beach will always be a nostalgic part of my childhood. And in fact, this section of the beach I'm walking along, you know, this portion of the boardwalk, I have fond memories. In fact, this place right here, Funorama, I remember going to this arcade when I was a kid. I used to go here quite a bit. Again, I used to love Hampton Beach. It's definitely gone a little rundown since then, but I still love it. I really do. So many cool little shops and stuff, little restaurants. I remember that place. I gotta be honest, it's been quite some time since I've been here. Maybe 2-3 years since I've really explored Hampton Beach. I don't come up here as much as I used to, but it's just fun to walk around and see. There's a lingerie store over there, and I gotta say too, it's almost lunch. Actually, it's about to be lunchtime as I'm filming this. I think it's about 11:45 right now, and I'm just walking by all these delicious-looking places: seafood, pretzels, donuts. I mean, I'm starving right now, I'm not gonna lie, this food's looking good. If I see a place that has like fried clams or something like that, I honestly might buy one, I'm not gonna lie. That'd be a good little treat to have while I'm walking. But yeah, nonetheless, we are still making pretty good time right now. Just continuing on, it's almost noon. I did get some pretty good drone shots when I was here. And now I'm just kind of enjoying, again, the sights and sounds of Hampton Beach. It's honestly, I gotta say, it's a core part of my childhood. It's a fun place when you're a kid. But But again, there are definitely a lot of other beaches I prefer over Hampton Beach in New Hampshire specifically. We are going to be seeing a few of them later on this video. So, oh, here's one of the casinos. But yeah, pretty cool.
Unfortunately, due to it being the off-season, many of the restaurants and food spots on the Hampton Beach boardwalk were closed. Thus, I decided to skip buying lunch and instead just ate some snacks I brought with me in my backpack. Nevertheless, I continued on, walking north along Route 1A as I slowly but surely neared the end of the beach. I walked past the New Hampshire Marine Memorial, a beautiful monument dedicated to those lost at sea, and a famous landmark here in Hampton Beach. Another interesting sight I stumbled upon was a bulldozer combing and clearing the sand, and it already looked like a lot had been done. By this point, I was almost out of the village entirely, although I knew that I still had much more walking left to do. As of this time, I had only walked a little over 3 miles, barely a fraction of the distance I needed to walk today.
Hey guys, I'm back and I just have a few quick updates. So I am still in the town of Hampton, New Hampshire, but I did officially leave the Hampton Beach Village area. I'm actually right now next to a place called North Beach, which you can see right over here. That's North Beach, another beautiful beach here in Hampton, New Hampshire. It's definitely a lot less crowded and chaotic and busy than Hampton Beach, but just as beautiful, a lot of crashing waves. But anyways, we're continuing onwards. Our next town that we're going to be entering very soon is the town of North Hampton. I know, creative name. But I just want to let you guys know we are still in the town of Hampton, heading over to the town of North Hampton. But we did leave Hampton Beach. A lot of Hamptons, it's confusing, but I just want to let you know where we are. It's about 12:15 p.m. right now. Sadly, I did not get lunch when I was in Hampton Beach. Not a lot was open. I mean, granted, it was kind of early, but it is also mid-April as I'm filming this. Most of that stuff is super busy in the summer, but you know, it's early spring as I film this. It's kind of a cold, windy day. Not a lot of people at the beach. So I don't really blame the restaurants for not being open. But anyways, I just want to let you guys know what's up. It's about noon, continuing onwards. Still got a ways to go. I did spend a little bit more time in Hampton Beach than expected, just kind of browsing and stuff. But yeah, let's continue on here from North Beach.
Walking along North Beach brought me different sights and vibes. To my right, a thick concrete seawall served as a barrier between the quiet town and the roaring Atlantic. Directly in front of me, a hotel with a unique-looking lighthouse affixed to its exterior intrigued me. I must say, by this point, the wind was really picking up, and the waves were crashing against the rocks and the seawall in a chaotic, intense show of force. I couldn't help but stare at the mighty coast. It was high tide now, and the Atlantic Ocean was at its full force, aided by the chilly nautical breeze. I continued onward, passing by hundreds of feet of concrete seawall before dipping into a more relaxed suburban neighborhood.
All right, guys, in just a few seconds, I'm officially going to be entering the town of North Hampton, New Hampshire, our third town on the journey thus far. And actually, that's the sign right there. This green sign means that we're going to be entering North Hampton, New Hampshire. So let's do it. And we've officially crossed over town number 3 on the journey thus far. That means, if my calculations are correct, we've walked about 6.5 miles so far. Yes, 6.5 miles out of 18 estimated miles. We still have quite a bit to go. A lot of walking left. But, you know, I gotta say, it's been a beautiful day so far. Yeah, it's a little windy, it's a little chilly, but beautiful views of the ocean. Hasn't been too crowded or chaotic. I've been enjoying my time. But, yeah, still got some walking left to do, but not too bad.
For the next few minutes of walking, I navigated through a small suburban neighborhood, lined with nice beachfront homes. This was the first portion of the walk in quite some time where I was not directly next to the coast, although that would quickly change. Once again, the shimmering waves appeared, this time at the beautiful North Hampton State Beach, a beach I have actually never visited before until today. However, the most interesting place I walked through during this part of the journey were these aptly named fish houses in the Little Boar's Head district of North Hampton. These small, quaint homes were once owned by local fishermen and built between the late 18th and early 19th centuries. They're positioned along a small dirt pathway, the ruins of a road called King's Highway, and serve as a historic reminder of North Hampton's early fishing industry. After stepping off the path and leaving the fish houses, I continued north up the steep rounded curve of 1A, lined with impressive houses.
You know, I gotta say, one thing I absolutely love about challenges like this one is that you often end up in locations you probably never otherwise would have ended up in. I mean, take for instance this absolutely gorgeous scenic view over there. I'm in the middle of a random suburban village here in North Hampton, New Hampshire. There's like no parking spots anywhere. Unless you're a local resident, I don't know how you could really get over here, and I'm just enjoying the view right now. Since I'm basically going for a walk, I'm just on foot. I gotta say, I love stuff like that. But nonetheless, we are making pretty good time. We're actually about 20 minutes away from the next town on this journey, which is of course the town of Rye, New Hampshire. I also wanted to show you the sign really quick. Check this out. That is New Hampshire Route 1A. We can go north towards Rye Beach or south towards Hampton Beach. Well, we've been coming from the south over there, that's Hampton Beach. Now we're heading north towards Rye Beach. So let's continue on, walking along New Hampshire Route 1A. Which I gotta say, if you've never driven along New Hampshire Route 1A, beautiful, beautiful highway. A lot of scenic beauty again, like the ocean right over there. I love it.
This was by far one of the most gorgeous and scenic locations during my walk, and I thoroughly enjoyed the ocean views as I walked past numerous beautiful coastal mansions. One of the most elegant homes I walked by was this European villa, part of the Fuller Gardens Botanical Garden in North Hampton. It was once part of Runnymede by the Sea, the early 20th century estate of former Massachusetts Governor Alvin T. Fuller. Sadly, I did not have time to explore Fuller Gardens during my long walk today, but someday soon I'll have to come back and check it out, as it looks absolutely stunning, with lots to see. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn on my microphone while filming this part, so I'll just narrate this next milestone. In this scene, I had officially crossed over the town line from North Hampton into our next town, Rye. I would be spending a lot of my remaining walking journey in Rye, as it is by far the longest town to stretch along the New Hampshire seacoast. By this point, I was walking alongside a small beach known as Bass Beach, and I was deep into the challenge now, having walked nearly 8 miles so far, with a lot left to do. I continued along Bass Beach, now walking through the village of Rye Beach, another quaint seaside suburban neighborhood. One thing I'll say about this journey is that it's allowed me to admire many beautiful homes and mansions, with some unique architectural designs, like this one with a tower. Another thing I noticed here in Rye were these massive walls of rock and gravel, which I believe are makeshift seawalls, separating the powerful ocean waves from the busy roads. By now, it's safe to say that I was roughly halfway through the journey, about 9 miles from where I first started, still making good progress, but definitely feeling the burn.
Alright guys, I'm back once again. Hopefully my microphone is actually working this time. I know it cut out last time, but we're still here in the town of Rye, New Hampshire. I'm still walking along Route 1A, and we're actually going to be coming up on what is perhaps my personal favorite beach here in New Hampshire. If you haven't watched it already, about a month or 2 ago, I actually released a video covering my favorite beaches in New England. And this beach right in front of me was my pick for my favorite beach in New Hampshire. So definitely check out that video if you haven't seen it already. But yeah, here it is. This is Jenness State Beach here in Rye, New Hampshire. In my opinion, the best beach in New Hampshire. So why don't we go check it out, Jenness State Beach. This, to me, is what a great New Hampshire beach looks like.
Jenness State Beach is by far my favorite beach in all of New Hampshire. It's calm, quiet, clean, scenic, and beautiful. We've seen quite a few outstanding beaches on this walking journey thus far, but still, Jenness State Beach is a personal favorite of mine. I love how it still retains that quintessential New Hampshire seacoast atmosphere, while lacking the severe chaos and traffic of some other nearby beaches. Jenness Beach is also much longer than it looks. Although I'm now walking through another suburban neighborhood, these are all coastal homes, directly beside the beach, which stretches out further northward. Speaking of which, I continued northward, deeper into suburbia, before stumbling across yet another unique historical site.
Alright guys, check this out. We got a pretty cool historical placard right here. which details some pretty interesting forgotten history here in New Hampshire. So let's check this out. I'll read this to you guys. This is for the Atlantic Cable Station in the Sunken Forest. It states, the receiving station for the first Atlantic cable, laid in 1874, is located on Old Beach Road opposite this location. And by the way, Old Beach Road is way over there across the swamp. That's where all the houses are, Old Beach Road. The remnants of the sunken forest, remnants of the Ice Age, may be seen at low tide. Intermingled with these gnarled stumps is the original Atlantic cable. So pretty fascinating to think that just right over here where we're standing is the Atlantic cable. And honestly, that is one of the things I truly love about living here in New England. It just feels like no matter what road or street you take, every corner you turn, regardless of where you are or where you look, you'll always find a piece of fascinating history. Same goes for here in the Seacoast Region of New Hampshire. No matter where you're at, no matter what street corner you turn, there's going to be a piece of rich history right there to check out. And New England, being one of the oldest regions of the United States, has so much more history than so many other regions of the country. It's truly fascinating, something I love, again, about New England. And yeah, that was really cool to see. The Atlantic cable, probably one of the most important modern innovations when it first came out. I mean, that was seriously a technological innovation that changed so much, the way we communicate, the way we talk to each other. Just fascinating to see.
As I finished walking through the quiet village I was in, I was immediately greeted by a new change of scenery. I was now walking along the vast salt marshes of Rye, stretching out from the nearby Rye Harbor. If you don't know, salt marshes are tidal wetlands, typically near the coast, that are flooded and drained by saltwater tides. I've always loved salt marshes, and I was finally glad to be seeing some much larger ones on my walk so far. Anyways, I was now approaching Rye Harbor, dotted with docked ships and boats, appearing more as a fishing village or a maritime port, rather than the residential suburbs I was just in. Yet again, just in the distance, I could see another major historical site, Rye Harbor State Park.
What's up, guys? I'm just taking a really quick detour here at Rye Harbor State Park. I did just want to show you another one of these pretty interesting historical placards from the state of New Hampshire. This one is about the Isles of Shoals. Now, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but you can feel free to pause and read this plaque. But it's basically going over the history of the Isles of Shoals, which is an archipelago of islands actually shared between two states, the state of New Hampshire, of course, and the state of Maine. If you didn't know, Maine and New Hampshire actually share a state border in between that archipelago, the Isles of Shoals. By the way, I did actually film a video at the Isles of Shoals a few years ago. I believe it was in 2023. So if you want to see myself exploring the Isles of Shoals and all of the history surrounding it, the cool stuff there's to see there, I will include a link to that. Definitely check out my Isles of Shoals video. But before we leave the state park, I do just want to show you the Isles of Shoals from mainland New Hampshire. The reason that that plaque was right over there is because you can actually see the islands from where we're at. So why don't I show you really quickly? It is way out in the distance, right over there. I do apologize for the really grainy, bad quality of this video, but let me see if I can extend my finger right there and right there. Those are the Isles of Shoals, shared between Maine, which is on the left-hand side, and New Hampshire, which is on the right-hand side. And of course, the New Hampshire side is part of the town of Rye, New Hampshire, the town we're currently in. But I did just want to show you that, pretty cool. We have to continue on with our walk. Like I said, I just took a bit of a detour onto the state park, but I have to go all the way back over there, and then I have to walk all the way along that coastline to over there. Honestly, we still have a couple more miles to go, but we are slowly but surely making our way over to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, the final stop here in New Hampshire, and then eventually the state border with Maine, on the mainland side, of course. Pretty cool. Why don't we check out this monument actually really quick? Just one last thing I want to check out here at Rye Harbor State Park, and that is this titular 1614 expedition monument. That's right here at the very tip of the state park. I don't actually know too much what it's about. I know it's about the early exploration of New Hampshire's coastline, but yeah, let's take a look at that. This is pretty cool. As you can see, 1614. And then you have this absolutely fascinating map right here. So cool. Let's just check out each side. Oh yeah, Captain John Smith. I do recall seeing a monument for him on the Isles of Shoals as well. Pretty fascinating. Once again, discussing the Isles of Shoals, which of course Captain John Smith himself also discovered. And let's go right over here. The origins of New England. Of course, this is all from a European perspective. It is crucial to remember that the natives lived here for centuries before the Europeans, but this is all from the European settlers' perspective. But still cool to see. But yeah, that is the 1614 Expedition Monument. This was Rye Harbor State Park. Honestly, I've never been here before. It's my first time, so that was cool to see. And let's continue on. We still have quite some time to go.
By now, the weather had changed dramatically. The clear sunny skies were gone, and instead replaced by dark, overcast clouds. It had also become noticeably colder, and I could genuinely feel my hands becoming much more numb from the cold while I was filming these video segments. I was once again walking by quaint, beautiful homes directly along the beach, guarded by another large, rocky seawall. By this point, I had walked roughly 12 miles of the journey thus far, and man was I feeling it. I can't lie, my legs were in rough shape by now, as it had been quite some time, several months in fact, since my last long-distance walk. With each step on the hard pavement below me, I felt my joints writhe in pain, but still, I had to continue on and not give up just yet.
Well guys, I think it's officially about that time. I didn't know when I was going to arrive at this point, but I do think, as of right now, I've officially arrived at that point. And you may be wondering, JMS, what exactly is that point? Well, it's the point where my legs are really starting to hurt and the walk is becoming a lot more miserable than it was before. Look, I'm still enjoying the walk. It's a great time. Loving the scenery, loving the vibes. But yeah, anytime I go on a really long walk or long hike, there is like a certain threshold I hit where all of a sudden my legs start screaming and they're in agony and fire. And yeah, that's definitely the point I'm at now. I do feel it in my ankles and my knees, but hey, I'm still pushing on and I'm definitely not giving up anytime soon. That being said, we are making pretty good time right now, pretty good progress. We're about 5 miles away from our final destination. I am still in the town of Rye, New Hampshire at the moment. And yes, I did say we'd be in Rye for quite some time. It's a pretty big town area-wise, but I'm continuing onwards towards our final destination. We are about less than 2 hours away from the final destination. Again, 5 miles. So I'm not worried about time. We're making decent progress, but I am definitely feeling on my legs. I just got to push through, got to continue onwards, and we'll make it. Oh, and the other thing I want to mention too, you guys have probably seen it in the video, but the weather has definitely changed a bit. When I started this morning, it was pretty sunny. It's definitely a lot more overcast now. You can see the clouds are really coming in. No rain, luckily, but it is definitely a lot more overcast. Definitely feeling a little colder. The temperatures dropped a bit. But hey, we're continuing onwards. So just, walking around the suburban area here in Rye, New Hampshire. There's a lot of beachfront homes, beachfront property, which is why you're not seeing the coastline right now. But don't get me wrong, the coast is literally right over there. These are just coastal homes. But yeah, we'll get there soon.
Once again, I was greeted by scenic salt marshes, directly by my side as I continued on through the town of Rye. Salt marshes are truly one of the most unique ecosystems in New England, and it's always a pleasure coming across them from along the coast. Anyways, I was now faced with a minor dilemma. Just a few yards north of me, I had to choose between a shortcut that bypassed the coast, saving me time, or continue on along Route 1A, taking much longer. Although the idea of persisting with Route 1A was the admirable choice, I was too heavily tempted by the shortcut, cutting through a much more quiet and forested section of town. Thus, I made the left turn, my first time venturing off from the state highway.
So yeah, guys, with all that being said, I decided that the best course of action was to take the much more quiet suburban route that bypasses Route 1A, mostly just to save myself some time. Again, my legs, they're definitely killing me right now. I'm definitely feeling the brutal pain. So just for this segment alone, just for this segment of coast, I am going to be bypassing Route 1A, taking this much more quiet suburban route. not as much traffic going down here, but it is quicker. It will save me some time and it will get us to our destination slightly faster, not by much. Continuing onwards, it's slightly after 3 p.m. right now. Again, overcast skies, definitely getting a little bit colder, but we are making decent progress. I just want to let you know that I am technically bypassing Route 1A, which means I am technically bypassing the coastline for a little bit. I hope you guys forgive me for that. I don't consider that cheating because I am still very close to the coastline, but if you do, I fully understand. But nonetheless, it's just for a short period of time, and then I'm going to be linking back up on 1A and continuing onwards north towards Portsmouth, which will be a fun city to walk around. But yeah, guys, just want to let you know, I am going to kind of speed run through this section, and I'll meet you guys in Portsmouth, or at least close to it.
This section of the walk was very quiet and suburban, especially considering that I was now fully off of Route 1A, away from the heavier traffic. There wasn't too much to see in this segment of the trip other than this pretty cool tree covered in buoys. I did like that. I navigated between the empty suburban roads as I made my way up towards the town line with Portsmouth, the final municipality I would be entering on this long walking journey.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's been about 40 or 45 minutes since I last filmed. I got a little carried away with some other stuff, but we are actually about to officially enter the city of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I want to show you guys right now. We're going to be crossing the town border, and that makes this the very last town, or in this case city, that we're entering here on the New Hampshire seacoast. Check this out. There it is, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, the final town we'll be entering here in the New Hampshire coastline. Portsmouth. Are you ready? Let's cross in. And nice, we're officially in the city of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, our final destination until we cross the state border into Maine, which, by the way, we're making very good progress getting over there. We're about 2.5 miles away from the very final point. 2.5 miles away, slightly under an hour. We should be there soon. I just got to continue onwards, keep walking. And yeah, loving it. But it's about 4:15 p.m. right now. It's definitely getting later in the day, but things are looking good. We're making good time. My legs though, man, wow, definitely feeling it.
I was now officially in the city of Portsmouth, the cultural and commercial hub of New Hampshire's Seacoast Region. Portsmouth is also a personal favorite city of mine, by far my favorite city in the state, with many cool sights to visit and amazing delicious food. More importantly, Portsmouth was my final destination in New Hampshire, and I only had about 2 more miles to go until I reached the state border with Maine, my very last stop. As I walked across the bridge, staring out at the beautiful Sagamore Creek, lined with homes, docks, and boats, I knew that my coastline journey was nearing an end. After spending several hours walking several miles, it felt surreal that I was about 45 to 50 minutes away from my endpoint. I'll be fully honest, there were some points during this trip where it truly felt like the walk was never ending, but nonetheless, here I was, almost finished. I was now walking along Harbony Grove Cemetery, dotted with historic gravestones and memorials, and on a normal day, I would have explored it a bit. However, time was now of the essence, so I carried on, wanting to ensure that I made it to the final stop in time before nightfall.
All right, guys, so I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is that we're very close to our final destination. According to Google Maps, I'm less than a mile away, which it estimates will be slightly less than 20 minutes. So that's amazing for me to hear. We're about 20 minutes away, less than a mile, and then we'll officially hit our final destination, which of course is the state border between New Hampshire and Maine. We are so close. Now that brings me to the bad news, and the bad news is my legs are literally killing me. They're in absolute brutal agony. I genuinely feel like I'm gonna collapse at any moment. No, okay, I don't. It's not that extreme. I'm fine, but like, wow, I'm really feeling it right now. You know, I'm a pretty active person. I walk a lot, but you know, it's early spring as I film this, so we just came off a brutal winter. I haven't really been walking as much this winter. I'm sure things will change as the summer comes on, but yeah, this is just telling me that I need to walk a lot more often. But man, I'm feeling it. But anyways, we're very close. We're actually about to be entering downtown Portsmouth very shortly, which if you don't know, downtown Portsmouth is one of my favorite locations in New Hampshire. In fact, I would probably say that Portsmouth is my favorite city in New Hampshire. I absolutely love Portsmouth, great city. But we're going to be in downtown shortly. I'll show you guys the beautiful brick architecture, and then we'll get to our final stop and officially end the walk.
I was now walking along South Mill Pond, within the southernmost reaches of Portsmouth's historic downtown section. Within just a few minutes, there I was, making my way through the iconic town center, defined by brick colonial buildings and quaint architecture. Portsmouth is home to a variety of excellent shops, restaurants, cafes, and galleries, which I would normally take the time to stop and explore. However, at this very moment, I was literally less than half a mile away, about a 7-minute walk from my final destination. My eagerness to succeed overcame me, and I briskly made my way down State Street, seeing it just in the distance beyond me.
Hey guys, I just want to mention something really quick. Do you see this massive steel bridge in front of us? Well, this is the Memorial Bridge. It crosses over the Piscataqua River, but more importantly, it also crosses over the state border between New Hampshire and Maine, which means we have finally, and I mean finally, arrived at the state border of New Hampshire and Maine, the final destination of this walk. We're still here on the Portsmouth, New Hampshire side, but we're going to be crossing over into Kittery, Maine, which is our final destination. So I'm interested to see what that's like. We're going to get over there very shortly. Let's check it out. There it is, guys, Memorial Bridge. Built for and in cooperation with the state of New Hampshire and Maine. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, the exact state border isn't directly in the middle of the bridge. I actually think Maine has more, I don't want to say land because, you know, we're over a river, but I think Maine has more territory on this portion of the border. Actually, I think I see the border right up there. But yeah, long story short, we are about to hit our final destination, and we can safely say we've officially crossed the entire state of New Hampshire, starting all the way down in Massachusetts, ending in Maine. Border to border, we have crossed the entire state of New Hampshire, the entire 18-mile coastline. All right, I see it right up there. Let's do this. All right, guys, are you ready? Our entire day today, our entire 18-mile walk has led up to this very moment. We are now going to be crossing out of the state of New Hampshire into the state of Maine. And this is it right here. This is the border. Oh, no, there it is. That's the state border. See where the pavements differentiate? So we're going to be leaving New Hampshire, entering Maine right now. Yes, we've done it. We are now officially in Kittery, Maine, the final destination of this journey. We walked all the way from Salisbury, Massachusetts, crossed into Seabrook, New Hampshire. We went through Hampton, North Hampton, Rye, ended up here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and now we're in Kittery, Maine. I don't know the exact mileage, but that's about 18 miles. I don't even know my steps yet. I mean, man, I'm in agony. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in agony, but absolutely beautiful view to top it all off. Now right there is the Piscataqua River, which empties out into the Atlantic Ocean, of course, the Gulf of Maine, whatever you want to call it. Actually, right over there is the Portsmouth Navy Yard. And then, of course, right over there, downtown Portsmouth. Absolutely fascinating. All right, guys, luckily, I actually parked my car right over here. I'm going to go to my car, chill for a bit. And yeah, wow. I'm not going to lie. I know I'm being a little anticlimactic, but I'm just in disbelief. But anyways, yeah, crazy stuff. We crossed the entire New Hampshire coastline, the shortest coastline in the United States of any state. 18 miles, 29 kilometers. We did it in one day, just a few hours. All right, guys, I'm gonna get to my car, gonna get some much needed food, and then I will start the outro.
I'm not sure how accurate these statistics are, so don't quote me on this, but in the end, I walked a total of 18.2 miles, burning 1,285 calories, and walking a grand total of 42,614 steps. Wow. Now this truly was a journey of physical endurance. I mean, it's by no means a marathon or anything, but still, I did it. I can officially say that I've now walked across New Hampshire's entire 18-mile coastline, from border to border. Although it may be the shortest coastline of any state in the country, as you saw throughout this video, there is so much beauty, scenery, and history to witness along the shores of the Seacoast region. Size truly does not matter, and despite New Hampshire's coastline being as short as it is, there is so much to see here, from the chaotic family fun of Hampton Beach, to the historical landmarks of Rye, to the shops and restaurants of downtown Portsmouth. At the very least, go for a scenic drive along New Hampshire Route 1A and see the coastal beauty up close for yourself. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me on yet another New England challenge, this time in the New Hampshire Seacoast region. Let me know if you want to see any other long-distance walking challenges. I may be tempted to try more in the future. If you love seeing New England-related videos like this one, then definitely check out my channel, maybe even subscribe, and see what else I've been up to. I also want to give a quick shout out to all my channel members. You guys are awesome, and I'd love it if you too, viewer of this video, considered becoming a channel member as well. You'd be supporting me and the channel directly, and I truly appreciate it. Or you can follow me on Instagram @JMassOfficial, that's @JMassOfficial. But I've been JMass as always, and I'll see you all next time. Now, I think I'm gonna go get a hot buttered lobster roll. I'm craving one so much after editing this video.